Hello, Martin Grassinger, and welcome to this Holistic Human Design Conference podcast episode. And
Thank you for having me here.
we are very excited that you're coming to Norway. Have you been before?
I have been several times, but only to Bergen.
Ah, my city.
I never was in Oslo, and so yeah. I like to travel and to be in places I've never been before. I also love to come back. Okay, yes.
So what takes you around the world? Is it human design or just the joy of traveling?
It's human design, and human design connected with everything I do. So, but basically human design, and yeah, I'm on the cross of service. So I figured out that's my life, just to be of service. To be of service with what's of service to me.
Ah,
And if it's of service to me, which means in my work with clients as therapist, so then it's something that's also a benefit and advantage for other people. And right from the start, when I started with human design, I had the perspective of the human body and physiology. So it wasn't that much, okay, what does it mean in terms of how to deal with the world? This is what most analysts are looking at. So for me, it's most of all, it's not a world graph, it's a body graph. So therefore, first of all, just how do you deal with yourself? Which means with your body, because it's a design system, it's not personality system. So therefore to see, okay, this is the blood, this is the flesh, you have to deal with it, and how to deal with your body graph as if the outer world wouldn't exist. Because that's from my perspective, that has to be the first perspective. And this is something I use it in my work, in my way of dealing with clients.
is what it, I mean, because you work with health and you say human design is part of everything you do. What is health for you?
Health, I like the definition of the World Health Organization. So health isn't, we can say in terms of design, the physical, the mental, and they call it the social, which is the emotional well-being, and not merely just the absence of infirmity and diseases. And so therefore, when I look at the body graph and I see these three areas of physical, splenic center, mental, the ajna center, and solar plex center, the social interaction, but it requires, first of all, how is my interaction with myself? How do I relate to my emotionality? And then based on this, just to see, okay, how to deal with the outer world. And we know if you had bad thoughts, you can get sick. It's easy. So therefore, and also to see that we are equipped with self-reflected consciousness. The voice said we are the only life form to be. So therefore, we can reflect on ourselves. Okay, sometimes to me, it's not so important what you think. Sometimes it's much more important why you are thinking what you are thinking.
Mm.
So we are not questioning. Yeah, with doubting, the capacity to doubt, okay, we doubt people and what they say and what's going on and so on, but we never doubt our doubting. So just to see, okay, first of all, and that's quite a challenge, we have to deal with ourselves. And this is deeply, deeply physical.
Mm.
It's not independent from, name it, spiritual or whatever. So it's yeah, we are trapped in this prison. This is one perspective, but when we are being grateful for what is given to us to ensure that our individuality will function, then we can have freedom.
Is there can you see with your client work, you have experience with it, are there any patterns that will show up in why people lose that well-being or get diseased?
We could say because they are not treating themselves as they should be according to their design. Because there is no, I always say this as a prerequisite, there is no single gate or center representing a specific symptom, a disease, a medication, or kind of therapy. Because it's not a map of disease. And it's not a map of lack of or this and that. It's the treasure. It's everything we have. And therefore to see, okay, when we look at in terms of, just yesterday I had a reading with someone on the cross of the vessel of love, and just to see, okay, we all have these gates. They don't need to be activated. So what about love in terms of ourself? Because it's in the self. So the unconditional love of all the parts that within you, and the love of the flesh, the love of the body, the love of all the extremes which are a part of your nature. And then as a result, to love yourself. And that's quite a lot to do. And when we want to say, okay, to have unconditional love to everything that's within us, we can say, okay, do you love unconditionally every gate that's activated in your design? Or are you saying, okay, not that much, this I love a little bit more, and so on. So yeah, there's some work to do.
Yeah, I have an issue with us calling it unconditional love. So we'll kind of define it based on what it isn't, instead of calling it love and conditional love. But I hear you. For me, it was an interesting thing when I realized that the love center, the G, and the emotional center, they're not even directly connected. So it's not emotion. But it's not an emotion in that sense. To me, it's more like a
no
compass or a way of being. So for me, it's like I can throw love at the low bottom of a wave, or a top or a mid. I mean, it's this, what you're saying, this, how can we love anything that's there if it's preferred or not? Like I know I have things I prefer and things I don't, and I try and love all of it.
It's not unconditional love, just means, okay, you make no difference. So that's not, therefore the word love, it's not what we mostly just mean when we talk about love. This kind of love is something different. In the old Greek language, we had eros and we had agape. And agape just is something totally different, something more. And if you see, this is the gate of innocence. Just to see, every gate that's activated in your chart is innocent by nature. So don't blame it for everything or for something. Just, it's innocent by nature. And it's an expression of love, which is embodied in you, 46, the love of the body, because that's the right place. And of course, there are extremes inside of you. And the part of love here is integration. So if I'm not willing to integrate what is extremely inside of myself as well, it shows me I don't love it. And if I'm able to love it, I'm able to integrate it. And it's the same, because the outer world is a mirror, just to see, okay, what I'm not willing to to integrate.
So it's about wholeness in a way.
Yeah.
So could we then say that it's with this body graph showing us our authenticity in a way, That so if we live like honest lives or like authentic lives as ourselves, the well-being will or the health will follow.
Automatically. That's also what Ra was saying. The more you are aligned with your individual nature and you follow all of these type strategy, all of this, what we have, so the less you can be affected from common diseases, germs, viruses, whatsoever, because you are not resonating to it. And the more we are open to, and 2/3 of every chart is open, the more we are open with it and allowing them to take place and to be conquered in a specific sense by it and to identify with, and maybe because of our thinking, just to say, yes, that's better, that's right, I'm wrong, all of that stuff. So the more we are getting away from ourselves and then being aligned to common aspect, things, opinions, whatsoever, it's always the saying yes to something else is at the same time saying no to myself. The same as saying no to something that doesn't belong to me is automatically saying yes to myself. And this is what happens. This is one of my work as well, what we know today from the immune system, because the immune system has to recognize and to figure out what is not self in order to protect the self. And we have the map which helps us to strengthen the self, which immediately has an influence on our physical world, internal world. And the same is with thoughts. Every thought is there, every thought is allowed, but if I just follow it and make it to my thought as well, so that's something I should think about.
Not act about.
Yeah. So the way I look in the world is when I get an information, maybe from politics or whatsoever, the first question I have, who wants me to believe it? And the second question is why? And the third question is who has a benefit if I believe this to be right, to be true, or this and that?
So this chart, this body graph that we now have to help navigate or to learn to become ourselves so that we can navigate as ourselves, has it made it easier for you to like see these things, especially now when all the lies are coming out in politics and in the world, like the things that have been hidden are now revealed more? Has it been easier for you to navigate this?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm an emotional generator. I have this definition 59.6. So the most important part is to be intimate with myself, which means, okay, pay attention of your current emotional situation and act accordingly to it. And the world is secondary. Just to see, because if I'm not dealing in the correct way with myself, if I glad, if I sad, so that doesn't make any difference in what I have to do. So if I don't do it, I will have problems in interaction with the world and other people.
How do you deal with your emotionality?
What I say to this definition, if you have this definition, because this is one and one, yeah, that's, for example, also something we just put it on, okay, this is for two people, and on the other side, it's for more than two people. Yeah, so in the defense circuit. And for me, first of all, it's not about anybody else, it's only about you. Because the other person, in terms of 59.6, is the person who looks at you in the morning out of the mirror. And then you have to make a relationship and to say, okay, oh, what do you need? You want a coffee? take a shower, going back to bed, or whatsoever, and then to say, okay, that's the best to deal with it. I don't have to think about if, in a sense, if I'm happy, so it just happens. So, but emotionality is just everything. So, and it's also, I say, it's not up and down. I just skip it here. It's left and right. So, and then to see, okay, just to deal with it. And it's also a manual then for the other people I have to deal with. And the question, oh, yeah, if I'm honest, that's the next step, to say, I'm not in the best mood today. But I don't make a problem out of it. We don't have to make a problem. It's just a state. I call it cloudy Martin. So it's sunshine and it's cloudy. And so, and when it's cloudy, I need something so that I feel comfortable. And if it's sunshine, everything is nice. So, and based on this way to deal with myself, other people learn to see how I deal with myself in this situation, so they can get out of the way or help me. And maybe to see me and to say, I think you need to be alone. Or it looks like you could have another coffee. So yeah, in these situations. So, and that's my personal part to deal with it.
What is your your go-to when cloudy Martin is looking back from the mirror? Is it coffee? Is it food? Is it?
That's the other thing. When you're emotionally defined, it's never ever the same. It can be, okay, I'm a musician, so right here now, I'm here on my grand piano. So that's good just to play a little bit of music, and then I play a specific kind of music that's resonating to it. Or I listen to music, or I don't want to listen to anything. So, and therefore, to have a variety of possible reactions, I already experienced that it was helpful. But what was helpful yesterday doesn't mean automatically it's helpful today. And so therefore, yeah, there are a lot of possibilities.
I got excited to learn that you're a musician. So it is always a question I have for people is like, what difference is music? What is music in your life? How important or not important is music in your life? It seems to me that everybody has some kind of a relationship to music.
Well, I have goosebumps. Music, it's the only string in my life which is constant, right from the start. And I could probably say music saved my life many times. I suffered for a long time in deep depressions, and I worked at a theater, and I wrote music to plays. And when I look back at this time, so first of all, because I had to do it, it was something I have to be on duty. I have to do it. Yeah. So, and the other thing was because of the place I wrote the music to, I had access to darkest part of the soul, and to express it with music. It would never ever be possible by being happy. So, because when you're happy, you listen to the music, and when you're sad, you listen to the lyrics. We know this. So, and therefore, with the music, what I like with music, I also like movies and making how the music of a movie is made, and so and if it's helping the situation to to be grounded and deepened, so that's to me the right function. So that you, in a specific sense, you don't even recognize that there is music. because there's something that's doing something with the scenery and with yourself. So, and yeah, I could talk for hours. So music is, I play a lot of instruments, and I can't live without.
Which is your favorite instrument?
This time it's more the piano, grand piano, and on the other hand, it's the guitar. And there's also the time when I don't like to play the piano then, and I pick the guitar. It's a different sound. I play totally different pieces of music on guitar. So, and sometimes it fits, and I have a vibraphone here, and so which is just, it's a little bit physical to play with, and the sound is different, and so I use this for my own well-being, in a sense. So
Yes, I was wondering, do you have like music that's just for you, and do you share? You said you compose for plays. People get to listen to what you're playing, but is there also music that is intimately just for you?
in the meantime, it's only for myself. It's only for myself. There are some friends, they have a grand piano as well at home, and they love me to play, and they like to listen. I don't want to play when nobody's listening. That's something. So then, and sometimes when people visiting, when friends are visiting, sometimes they ask for, and it can also be, I'm not in the mood right now, but basically, it also leads to specific kind of music, so to say. And also to see, I just have it in mind. You might know the song "The Greatest Love of All." Is recently, I think, from George Benson, but also Whitney Houston was singing, I think. I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. This is the song about the human design system to me. Absolutely.
Do you have children?
Yeah, I have a daughter and a granddaughter, and yeah, it's beautiful.
They are lucky to have grandpa.
Yeah, that's true. But it's not a one-way street. I'm very proud of my daughter and the way she's going her way, and the way how they deal with Charlotte, with the grandchild, and because they are both very, very creative, and she didn't she didn't know that there is a television until she was, I think, 6 or 7. So it was just all the time. It was being creative, doing something, being outside, learning, studying. She loves nature. She loves animals, and knows everything. So when I say this is this and that, no, that's wrong. It's this way and this way. Specifically when it's about animals and dinosaurs, and so. And this is also one, I played it this morning. What a Wonderful World. Yeah, I see babies cry, I watch them grow. They learn much more than I never know. And this is what I experience, and I'm so glad about it, so happy about it. She knows much more, and she will know much more than I ever know. And therefore also to say I can learn from her. And also it just reconnected me to my creativity, and also to to behave like a child sometimes. Yeah, if you have a little child, so it's allowed for society. And I like to make nonsense and stuff and all of that stuff. And so, yeah. And it was bringing me into the next level of my development in my life.
Mm.
Just to see, okay, I'm no longer responsible for my daughter. It just started very early for her because she's very independent. And then also to learn I'm not responsible for educating my grandchild because this is her task. And then to learn, okay, I have to step back and to say, be silent. Don't. Sometimes I say, okay, you were not educated in this way. I'm sorry. And then she said, yes, but I think that's right. That's necessary. So, and it's in both directions.
It's better to have the your only responsibility in that way is to love your grandchild. It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
And it's also a relief. I come and I'm welcome and I go. And I'm no longer responsible. And then to see, yeah, it was a nice time. We had a lot of fun. Yeah. And there to see all these generations. Also, so the chart of my grandchild, she has the 2946, just for one sample. And the 2946 doesn't want to be interrupted. The 2946, beginnings, middles, and end, want to end what I have started. And when she was at home, so maybe 4 years old, and she was just painting a picture. And the dad came back from work, and her mother wanted her to say hello to the dad, but she didn't want to. And she get angry, and it wasn't that fun. I said, hey, come on, that's the way she's functioning. Allow her to finish her picture, and then she will just come, hey, Daddy, I'm glad you're here. So just to see that those little things, just to see how she's working, and it changed a lot. Just to see, okay, maybe then to say, okay, hey, come on, half an hour, we will have dinner. You have to see that you get finished with what you are doing. So to give her the chance that she can do it, not, okay, dinner's ready, come on. It's not that. So, and then to see how the design system is just helping in the daily way to deal with each other. And it releases resistance, which is the most important topic of the human design system, and it makes interaction much more easier. But it requires the respect to a nature that's different, to someone's nature, which is different. And then, yeah, then it works, and we can see the beauty of it. And therefore, we have to start with ourselves, just to allow ourselves to function in the right way, not to stand in the way, not to burden ourselves with something that doesn't belong to us. And this is also physical. And so many people, they have it in their posture, they have it in their tone of the muscular system, all of that stuff, that this is... they carry a lot with them that doesn't belong to them. And therefore, to work with the human design system, to me, when a client comes to me for the first time, and then I know to talk with this person according to the nature of this person, and not in a way I think about, my assumption, maybe that's the best or whatsoever. And then to realign someone with its true nature. And you can always experience this in the face of the other person. It goes, yeah, I'm so glad that I'm right. I'm so glad that someone who doesn't know me just is telling me this. And it's the most wonderful and best and most accurate tool I know to be very precise, very immediately, very effective. And therefore, as long as I live, I will do it. So that's obvious.
Are there any other tools that you use?
A little bit of astrology, but also because my perspective to the human design system changed this as well. So I have my own perspective to the planets. It's different from the traditional astrology. I pick it out of the human design system, yeah, because there we have the planets, and the planets are able to tell us something. I will just on Tuesday I will go to Biarritz, to France, and to teach the planetary key and break biology, nutrition, digestion, and so on, and to see that the old way we look at the planets, just give you one example for Saturn. Saturn in the traditional astrology is just the judge, and it's all of that stuff. So, and the keeper of the, how was it called? The keeper of the keys to the outer world, which was to traditional astrology, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. So the transpersonal parts. And this is something that changed because our lifespan is now Uranian. And therefore, automatically, Saturn has a different function.
Mm.
And if we don't look at this, we miss the point. We are still in this old way, okay, being judged and all of that stuff. And Saturn has the function of, okay, grow, grow, grow. And to have the understanding of this, and also for the other planets as well, this is very, very helpful on the psychological level.
Mm.
And to see it immediately. And to help people, that's the way I use it, to help people to feel a specific gate within their body because it's related to something they can feel. And sometimes they feel when they are not in contact with it.
Mm.
So therefore, I use the body graph as, I always say the body graph is the tool to help people to get home, back home again when they get lost in the wilderness of life. And therefore, everything is there. And then to help.
How do you feel, because since 2021, the interest of human design exploded in the world. It really became like fashionable almost.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, it seems like a lot of people use the system as outer authority.
Yeah.
Do you have any experience with this? Do you experience the change? And do you change the way that you teach?
It was just recently, I attended to someone who said, okay, I do public reading and you can attend, and I do a reading for you, and because I offer the education and all of that stuff. So they call themselves Master of Dilim and offering master courses. And there were more than 600 participants that were interested in. And they started to do one reading. It was horrible. They did a second. It wasn't better. So I just stamped out. And because of these 600 people as well, I came to this point to say there is a kind of, I don't know if it's the right word in English as well, populistic human design system. And in a sense, the true basic human design system. And it helped me to disconnect from this world where I thought, okay, I have to help them to have a deeper understanding and all of that stuff. But now to say, okay, that's not my task. So the only thing I can do in order to be honest with myself is just continue what I have done and to spread it out. If there's a greater audience for it, for example, maybe they would say, okay, we have the 600 people. We are glad that you are a little bit more precise. Help us to get a deeper understanding. I'm basically open for everything and everyone. So that's also why I'm looking forward to come to Norway. Because this, to me, this is something, it's needed. It's needed. And of course, with the cross of service, it's obvious. I'm of service. I want to be, I am of service to the human design system, to the basics of it, to the truth of it, to the correctness, to all of that stuff, as far as I know, as far as I experience. But I look back for more than 3 decades of experience with it. So, and therefore, and with my design, both of the suns in 5818. So I'm not even satisfied with the work I'm doing, because there's always, you can make it better, you can make it better, you can make it better. Which means to me more precise, more detailed, and not in terms of the addition of something, but more in, okay, leave it out. It's not necessary, because if you have this point, then you have it. You need nothing more. So, and this is also my personal development within it. And therefore, even now, when I go to France and do these 2 seminars, since 2 weeks, I look at the slides, everything, and move through and say, oh, no, it's better in this way, it's better in that way. So that's my creativity. And also, if I maybe recently experienced something to be more precise in this way, then it has to be changed for the teaching. So, and so therefore, it's never finished. It's always just going further step by step.
I get the picture in my head of the difference of a grand piano that has actual strings and one of those electric ones. So when you say something, because you have experience, 30 years of experience, and you have your honesty with it, and it carries weight, that's like hitting the string. So the resonance comes out and it hits us in a different way than the populistic human design. It's like a MP4 compressed version in a way. So it doesn't resonate in the same way. For me,
there's no overtone.
Yes, you miss all the richness of it, kind of.
Yeah, and it's only something on the information base. 2 days ago, I was in a concert here in Hamburg. We have this beautiful Elbphilharmonie, this concert hall there, and there was a musician, and they were interviewed, and he said, it's not about playing this piece of music. It's about, I have to take it in and to make it as my own, and to give it to the world out of myself as my own. That's the way it has to be. If I only play the notes, I transmit information, but I don't transfer what this piece of music is all about. And it was something that came into me, and to say, yes, there's something, because of my experience with design system, that's part of me, that's part of myself, that's within myself. And therefore, I don't transfer, in a sense, information. I try to transfer something that comes out of experience of life, in a sense, what life has shown me. I had to learn from life. It was also in the beginning when I started with design, Ron, we didn't had the chance, in a sense, to do readings we do today. So what we did, we opened the books, and therefore it was called the reading, and it was the same what he was doing with me. So we didn't have a computer and so on. We had to paint it with a hand and all of that stuff. So just to say, okay, you open the book and you read the lines. And so you read all the lines, and this was about me. And it was the same when I started to work with it with clients. I wasn't able to tell the people anything because I didn't have the understanding of it. But I had the chance over the very first 1 or 2 years to sit there, to listen to the person, to talk to me, and while this person talking to me, to look at their chart. And learning by listening. And then to see, okay, oh, it's similar to the last time, this and this and that. And therefore, when I developed all these health-related courses, I checked them first dealing with clients, and I checked them by doing readings, maybe afterwards to say, come on, I have a question, may I ask a question? According to your design, is it in this way, this and this? And if they come back, okay, how can you know? So I know, oh, there must be something that's correct for it. Okay, let's check it the next time, the next time, the next time. And so it was almost 2 or 3 years. I never talked about a new seminar about health and design because I needed the security inside of myself that what I'm going to tell to people is proven and is reliable. And then I started to teach also traveling, but at this time, 30 years ago, it was just, okay, with the car, by train. So, and I was in various cities in Germany and in Austria and Switzerland and so on, and always doing the same seminar. And there were the students, and they had the chance just to check it with their design. So it was also something that helped me to learn according to the feedback that was there. And yeah, so that was a development step by step, slowly but surely, in a sense, so that today I can say, this is this topic, this topic, this topic, that's the way it functions. And the same as Ra started his presentations in the early days, just to say, okay, don't believe me, check it for yourself. And yeah. And I love to do it. I love to teach and to be in contact with people, and even within the design system, and always able to learn something from someone else, because we all have a different perspective. And it's always enriching.
I remember thinking, because in Ibiza, you said to Richard, you said, I love listening to you, when he was doing a reading for someone. And that was like,
yeah,
opened up something for me. It's like, of course, because we look at it all different. So
that's it. Basically, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth. So, and I think the Dalai Lama was saying it. When you say something, you hear yourself saying something you already know. And if you listen to someone, you might listen to something you haven't known before. And this enrichment is something that comes from the outer world. And when we look at the quarters of incarnation, the very first gate is the 13th gate, and this is the fellowship of man, and the first line is empathy. So we are here at the first place to have empathy, beginning having empathy with ourselves according to what we are seeing in our body graph, and based on that, to have empathy with other people in the world. And that's a challenge, yeah.
Yes, and it's a beautiful challenge.
Absolutely.
It's the necessary and beautiful challenge.
Yeah.
I'm now hoping that there's a piano at the hotel in Oslo. So
Yeah.
maybe we can hear you there. I have at the end, I'm finishing the conference with a sound experiment.
Oh, that's great.
So I'm happy that you have music in your life, and then this is part of it. So because it's so important to me, and everybody that I talk to has like, I wouldn't survive if it wasn't for music.
Yeah,
so
absolutely. Yeah.
But yeah, I really hope to hear you play a little bit, because piano is also my instrument, so it's nice.
Great.
I think that's a good episode for us to get to know you.
Great.
Do you have any idea what you're going to do with us in Norway or for us?
No. It's also, when we talked about it, I said, okay, in a specific sense, I'm open to everything, and to see what would be the best out of what I can offer to fit in, and how to do it, if it's the best, because I don't know about the whole picture of it. To do a workshop, to do this and that. So therefore, I said I'm totally open. So, and
well, we are lucky, and however it will unfold, I'm sure it will be a great service to us. So I am very much looking forward to you coming, and I hope people will show up, because we need to find out what you're going to do.
Yeah, that's great. In September.
Yes.
Yeah.